D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? And welcome to my week in review, where I come to you every Sunday with 3 entertainment stories that I personally find interesting, and I hope you do too. I leave the articles in the section down below so you can read them for yourself and make your own decision and opinion, and you can comment down below. So why don't we just jump right in, because this week was pretty exciting for news, but these are the stories that I picked. So Sandman has been picked up by Netflix to be a series. Now, it's finally getting its own TV show. Now, how this goes is Netflix needs content, and Warner Brothers, because, excuse me, Sandman is part of Vertigo Comics, which is a part of DC, so Warner Brothers, they're just spending money like nobody's business. So they need to make some of that revenue back, some of that money back. So they've signed off the rights to Sandman to Netflix. Now, it's been written, it's a pretty old comic book, Sandman, but it was written by Neil Gaiman. And he's got a lot of stuff on TV right now. He's got Good Omens on Amazon, and then he also has American Gods, and I can't remember what channel that is exactly. So, now, like I said before, this comes from Warner Brothers Television. Now, the thing about this is they can't be cheap on this show. Like, I personally feel like when Netflix did the Marvel TV shows, they went on the cheap side and they didn't show the powers, and they can't go cheap on this one. Mostly because it isn't with how it works in Sandman is it has to deal with dreams. And then there's like 7 other like things, and it's pretty complex, and I'm not going to describe it now because this video would take forever. But if you have a chance to go read it, it's actually a pretty good comic. I personally enjoy it and everything, but because I feel like Neil Gaiman is very spotty. But he's very cerebral, and when it comes to his stuff, like if you watch American Gods, for instance, that show, I feel like it started off in season 1 pretty good, but then it kind of like season 2, I really wasn't feeling it as far as it went. But I do feel like it became very niche very fast, in my opinion. So I don't know. In all honesty, I did not like season 2 very much compared to season 1 especially. So, Neil Gaiman is involved because this is his work. Alan Heinberg is the showrunner and the head writer. Now, if you don't know Alan Heinberg, he was one of the writers on Wonder Woman #1, where he was kicked off writing because of Patty Jenkins. She didn't want him on him. Basically, long story short, he wasn't a yes man, and Patty Jenkins wants to surround herself with only yes people that tell her every idea she has is just perfect. But and he was not one of those, and he's famous for the Wonder Woman movie. His biggest contribution was the first the parts on Themyscira, because he wanted to have like a Disney princess kind of moment in which she dives off the cliff and she saves what's his face, Steve, and everything. So, anyways. Now, like I said, and then so David S. Goyer is also involved, and he's the executive producer. Now, a lot of people are nervous about the fact that he is involved, because Goyer is known more for he has good ideas and he has good story ideas, but when it comes to telling them and executing them, he's not very good at it. And then plus, I'm sure the only reason he's involved is because he's been trying to get a movie going, a Sandman movie going for so long that I'm pretty sure that it's in his contract that he has to be involved in some way, shape, or form with Sandman, the property. So that's probably why he's involved. And an executive producer is not involved on the day-to-day stuff. They might come in and check everything every now and then, but very rarely. I mean, most of the time it's just them putting their name on it, and then everybody else just does the work. Now, I'm not sure if this will be successful. We just have to see if anybody has interest in it. And I think one thing that will really determine if it's successful is the special effects. Now, like I said before, now if they put money into this, into the special effects, kind of like what they did with the Umbrella Academy, I personally feel like it will be good for the special effects will be good for the show. If you watched Umbrella Academy, I personally liked that show a lot, and I did feel that the special effects were movie quality. And I really hope that they continue that kind of stuff with this Sandman show. Now, moving on to my second story, Halle Bailey has been cast as Disney's live-action Little Mermaid. Now, this has sparked a lot of controversy on the internet, on Twitter, Facebook, and every social media, and a lot of people have picked their side, whether they like it or not. Now, just real quick to give you a little history on Halle Bailey. She is a member with her sister of Chloe and Halle, and they are both born, she was born in Atlanta, Georgia, and was raised in Los Angeles, California. Now, her and her sister first performed by posting covers of pop songs on YouTube. Now, as far as acting-wise, she hasn't been in very much stuff, and everything that she has been in, it's not really, like, notable. So, let's just talk about this whole casting. Now, personally, when I first heard that Halle Bailey was cast, I was just like, well, my first was like, who? And that's pretty much how everybody was, because unless you're a fan of Halle Bailey's, you don't know who she is. In fact, everybody I talked to, they were like, I don't know who that is. So originally I was angry about this, and it wasn't because they picked a woman of color to be Ariel. It was because they didn't pick Zendaya. I was really rooting for Zendaya to get this role, and I mean, after seeing, like, I saw a picture, she colored her hair red in honor of the original Mary Jane Watson from the Spider-Man comic books, and everybody just started talking about how she would be great as Ariel, and I agreed with them 100%. And then Boss Logic did a fan art thing of her in the Ariel getup with the red hair, and I thought it looked great, and I was just like, she would be perfect, and she's a woman of color. So they decided to go with Halle Bailey. And now after seeing all the artwork for Halle Bailey, and because when it comes to casting, I'm not a purist. When it comes to gender, I'm not a purist. But when it comes to costumes, I am a purist. So when it comes to the whole look of Ariel, I want her to have the red hair, the purple seashells, all that stuff. And I was kind of worried that they wouldn't do that. But then I saw Halle Bailey with red hair in kind of almost Ariel getup, and I was like, you know what? She can pull off red hair. So I will be happy with that. I also saw a lot of fan art where she looks fantastic in it. It's cartoonish, but she still looks great as Ariel. So I'm on board now. I mean, it's honestly not who I would have picked, obviously, but also she would not even be in my top 10, top 50 people to pick as Ariel. But I'm okay with it now. I'm just going to roll with the punches and see how, and you've got to get over it, because if you don't, too bad. So, now, with the casting of Melissa McCarthy as Ursula, well, she hasn't been cast officially yet, but I'm pretty sure she'll be in there. And Jacob Tremblay as Flounder, Awkwafina as Scuttles. Let's see how this movie develops and see how it comes around. So moving on to my last story, Ezra Miller is still playing the Flash in the Flash solo movie. Some things have changed, though. Originally, he had gotten Grant Morrison to help him write a script to help save his role as the Flash, and it looks like Warner Brothers is going with that. And they fired the writers on it, Goldstein and I can't remember the other one's names, because they wanted to do kind of a Back to the Future-esque kind of movie with the Flash, and they're going with Christina Hodson and Andy Muschietti for director and writer. Now, Christina Hodson is famous for writing Bumblebee. She got a lot of praise on that script before the movie even came out. And then she's also getting a lot of praise for her Birds of Prey script, which also is not out yet. But she is getting a lot of praise. I don't know if it's good or not. Obviously, I haven't seen it, but we shall see. Now, Andy Muschietti, you may know him. He directed Mama, and now he is directing It and It Chapter 2, which makes me wonder, what role is Jessica Chastain going to play in this movie? We'll have to see, because I'm pretty sure she's called them up and said, hey, put me in this Flash movie. So Ezra Miller, I'm kind of on the fence with him as a fan, but I do think that a Flash movie would be great. I kind of want them to do Flashpoint. They said they would do Flashpoint, but it looks like they're going the scary route, the horror route. And if you remember then Shazam, they went the horror route, and even though among critics and hardcore fans of the comic, we really loved it. I personally loved it. You can check out my review here. But as far as money goes, it didn't make enough. I mean, it didn't make that much at the box office, and in Hollywood, money talks. So, those are my 3 stories for the day. What did you guys think about it? How do you feel about Sandman on Netflix? Are you guys going to watch it? How do you feel about Halle Bailey being the new Ariel in the live-action Little Mermaid? And what do you think about Ezra Miller still being the Flash? And how do you think that movie will turn out? Go ahead and leave your comments in that section down below. I will see you guys next week on my Sunday on my Week in Review. You guys have a good week. Bye! Hey nerds, if you like this video, go ahead and click that Geek What icon and subscribe. And if you like this video, go ahead and join me every Sunday with my Week in Review.